This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Rita, let's go to the border. Let's go to Paul Perez on the border.
Let's go. We need a border song. We always have the Texas song, but we need a border.
Down on the border.
I knew I'd get it out
Mexico
of you.
way.
I knew I'd get you guys.
Who sang
There's the music.
Who sang that song?
Governor Patterson,
Down
you're
on the border,
the guy.
down Mexico
You're
way.
the name that tune. Come on, between Judge Weinberg and Governor Patterson.
His first name is Joe, and I can't.
All right, you have 5 minutes to think of it. Okay. All right, we'll get back. We'll get back to you. And in the meantime, come on, look at Judge Weinberg's cheating.
Let's go to Paul Perez.
And in the meantime, let's go to Paul Perez. He is head of the Border Patrol Union. Paul, great to have you here. First of all, I got to get clarification from you. What is happening with families? There's been all this brouhaha. Are the families going to stay together? These are the folks where the parents are here illegally. Say the child is born in the United States. Tom Homan saying he's going to keep them together, but deport them together. Is that right?
So what he's made clear of is that we're not going to be in the separating families business, and that's going to be a decision that the families are going to have to make. So we cannot deport United States citizens. That's clear. And so if the parents are here illegally and they want to remain with their family, then they're going to have that choice. What we're trying to do, and Tom's made clear, is get funding for ICE beds that will actually be able to house families together. So that was one of the things that the Biden administration took away, the ability to house families together, which led to families being released as long as they had a child with them. That was part of the magnet. And so, of course, you heard all the things that were going on with families coming in because they would be released. That's what part of ending catch and release is going to do. We're going to end the release of people coming in, whether they have families or not.
What did you think, Paul, of the fact that Mexico seems to be stepping up, the new female president there, and she came out and said that she will make, it's like 12,000 beds on the Mexico side of the border. At least it's a start, but even Tom Homan says that's just sort of a drop in the bucket.
It is. That's something that we can fill up very quick. And initially, I think, President Trump has been very clear, do not come. But if they test it, if they test his will, they're going to find out very, very quickly that they're going to be removed back to Mexico. So it's only going to take, a few times, a little bit of time for everybody to realize, oh yeah, you know what, they are being sent back. So that's we're going to turn off the magnet. We're going to turn off the catch and release magnet, and it's going to drop the numbers dramatically because people are going to stop coming because they're going to realize if we get caught under this administration, they are going to remove us and bring us back to our country. Now, we need Mexico and we need Canada to help us out, but if they don't want to, Trump has made clear he's prepared to impact them with tariffs, and they don't want that. So I do believe that the Mexican government and the Canadian government are going to be willing to take the people back that have crossed across their borders. So we're looking forward to that.
Canada's meeting, by the way, right now, all these officials with Tom Homan and President Trump in Florida trying to figure out the northern border. Ed Cox.
And on the southern border, the president of Panama turns out to be very pro-American and conservative and wants to stop the immigrants. He's building fences. How much of an impact will that have, do you think?
Well, so you've got the Darien Gap, which is where everybody needs to cross to get up. And so if Panama, if they can do more to stop the flow, just like Mexico's promising to do, then we're going to end it a lot sooner. And that's the power of President Trump. He means business. They know that. And so they're going to do everything they can to stay within President Trump's good graces because they know that he has the power to impose those tariffs that are going to hurt their country. So they want to do the right thing. They want to do what they should have been doing had Joe Biden flexed some muscle.
And look, President-elect Trump, they understand where he stands on immigration. When he came down that escalator in 2015, there's no doubt where he stood on immigration. And so they're adjusting to it, the president of Mexico and the president of Panama. But the president of Panama seemed to be ahead of the game because he actually is fully on board.
Yeah, they need to get on board. I mean, President Trump means what he says, and everybody has known exactly where he stood on immigration, like you said, since 2015. So it's not a surprise. You know, he's got a mandate from the American people, and he knows that, and that's what he ran on, and he's going to execute the plans that he talked about on the campaign trail because that's what the American people want.
Ed Cox.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on where do you think it's going to go? You know, the northern border is also a big issue because Canada, as we talked about, is meeting right now in Florida.
Unless
that seems like porous as heck.
That is a big issue here in New York, our northern
That's
border.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have a bigger border, the whole lot.
Well, it's called the largest unfortified border in the world.
Yeah, and they've had like a huge amount of those on the terror watch list crossing because they know, okay, a lot of attention on the southern border, and they're going to the north, right,
That
Paul?
is Elise Stefanik's district,
Absolutely.
and she's made a big point about that. The number of illegals are coming across the northern border of New York.
And Paul, real quick before we let you go, your thoughts about this horrible case of what happened in New York. This is this Guatemalan migrant crossed illegally twice, lit this woman on fire, burned her to death. And there's a lot of debate on like what kind of charges. And then we're also hearing, well, there's still this fight because New York is, quote, a sanctuary city, even though, thank goodness, Eric Adams seems to be having some discussions with President Trump, obviously. But it's like, how are we going to deal with these cities? What are you thinking?
First off, it's very despicable what the Guatemalan immigrant did. You know, he's an illegal alien that should never have been here. And the policies that New York put in place, I mean, I saw it firsthand when I went up to New York to watch President Trump do his rally at Madison Square Garden. I saw exactly what they were talking about. The amount of people that they've let into the state, that they've let into the city because of their policies, the handouts that they were giving, that's what they attracted. They attracted this guy to go in there, this scumbag to go in there and, in broad daylight or out in the open, kill a woman by setting her on fire on the freaking subway.
It's unbelievable.
How much more I don't give a crap mentality can you have than that? But that's what they've attracted. That's what these sanctuary city policies bring. I don't know if you guys are aware, but ICE already lodged a detainer, and the Department of Corrections has said they're not going to honor the detainer because of the policies that they have in place.
It is amazing.
If this doesn't change anybody's mind, the liberal mindset, those people need to be voted out of office.
I agree.
Despicable.
Absolutely, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Have a happy New Year, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Did
we find that song?
We got it.
South of the border, down Mexico way. That's where I fell in love when the stars above.
I don't know if we'll fall in love, but it will be more secure.
Okay,
We're sure of
let's
that.
go to that break.